From judges to pilots, a brief history of sunglasses. Hollywood, rock stars, pilots who can live without a pair of sunglasses. Hey dad, have you seen my sunglasses? No son, have you seen my dad glasses? Ray-Ban sunglasses are one of the icons of American culture. But do you know the original users of sunglasses were the Chinese judges from 12th century? In fact, at least 3 countries claim to be the inventor of sunglasses. Primitive sunglasses were worn by the Inuit all the way back in prehistoric times. But these were merely walrus ivory with slits in them, good for helping with snow blindness but not particularly fashionable. Well, but sometimes the definition of fashion can go really wild. The Inuit sunglasses do have the function of sunglasses. It protects eyes from the glare. But they are sunglasses without glasses. The first sunglasses with glasses, or to be precise, with quartz, were very possible from China. It is mentioned in the book of Spanish missionaries 500 years ago that they brought back glasses from China, despite there is no physical evidence to prove it, but today people believe. Sunglasses were invented sometime in 12th century China. They were smoked quartz that was made to block out the light from the sun. The primitive frames were roughly shaped frame to hold them against the user's face. These darkened lenses made only for the very rich. They were not vision corrected, nor they protect against harmful UV rays, but they provided some relief from having the bright sun constantly shining into users' eyes. And more important, they were used to hide the judge's emotions from others. Around 1430, vision-correcting eyeglasses were darkened and they were introduced into Italy via the Chinese. Time jump to 18th century, Europe. The great industry revolution was happening here. And the same as all the other modern things, it's the time for the invention of the modern sunglasses. At that time, the manufacturers were mainly small handmade workshops, and each glasses were marked with the name of the producer. Many of these small workshops later became producers of precision instruments and watches. Also, glasses had become the new darling of the upper class. A tuxedo, stick, and pincers were the standard dresses for a decent gentleman. In the 18th century, James Ayscough, an English optician and designer, began experimenting with tinted lenses and spectacles, but not to protect from the sun's rays, but to improve vision for those with poor or failing eyesight. His shop was in London. Around the year 1752, he introduced lenses tinted blue or green to treat some vision problems. These are believed to be the precursors to sunglasses. Time went to 20th century. It's the time for Americans to join the game. Beginning in 1920, the widespread popularity of short hair indirectly led traditional comb manufacturers such as Foster Grant to develop other products. And glasses became one of the choices. They became very popular when Hollywood stars began using them to shield their eyes from the bright studio lights. And in the meantime, in the early 20th century, there was one thing the Americans were really good at: making everything mass-produced and inexpensive. In 1929, Sam Foster, founder of the Foster Grant of Atlantic City, had put sunglasses into mass production in America and was doing a roaring trade through his company. And it definitely became one of the luckiest commercial success during the Great Depression time. He sold the first pair of Foster Grant sunglasses on the boardwalk in Atlantic City, 1929. By 1930, sunglasses could be found in all the range. It stated that 20 million pairs were sold in the United States in 1937, but estimated that only about 25% of American wearers needed them to protect their eyes. One day, a U.S. Air Force lieutenant visited the optical firm of Bausch and Lomb. The Air Force lieutenant was famous for flying a small plane across the Atlantic in 1923. During his flight practice, he felt the strong sunlight were quite harmful for the eyes. After returning to the base, he even had nausea, vomiting, headache, and dizziness. Therefore, he felt that the pilot really needed a pair of sunglasses that could absorb the strong light. Bausch and Lomb began to develop it for the Air Force. In 1930, Bausch and Lomb created the first eyeglasses for the Army Air Corps to protect pilots from high-altitude glare. This was the birth of aviator sunglasses. They were very popular among the American pilots. In 1936, Polaroid filters had been invented by Edwin H. Land, founder of the Polaroid Corporation, allowing glasses to protect against harmful UV rays for the first time. In the same year, Bausch and Lomb designed anti-glare aviator glasses, using new polarized lens technology created by Edwin H. Land. In 1937, Bausch and Lomb officially launched this type of glasses to the market and changed its name to Ray-Ban. During the Second World War, Ray-Ban lenses were set by the government as the standard for sunglasses. This kind of sunglasses really brought a lot of convenience to the US Air Force. Some people even called Ray-Ban as one of the heroes that helped the Allied victory in World War II. But the aviator sunglasses that were born due to the war did not become popular among the public. On the contrary, till 1950s, the playful styles based on round shape, such as all kinds of flower frames, were the ones really in. It is not until the 1970s the Ray-Ban aviator sunglasses finally became a fashion icon due to the love of many rock stars and movie stars, especially this guy and this guy. Now the story back to China. Not related to any culture or fashion or upper class or Air Force or such kind of cool things. It is just simply because everything began to be made in China. Through all the travel of time and space, for a few hundreds years and across the continents, now, Xiamen, China, is the world's largest producer of sunglasses, with its port exporting 120 million pairs each year. Well, here is what we get today, and I will see you for next time. Thank you for watching.